Okay. Cool. All right. So Taylor, just wanted to ask, is there any specific order in which you wanted to go through the questions, or I don't know, do you have any thoughts?
However you want to throw them at me.
All right, that works with us. This is our so I'm Rohan, I'm the treasurer.
Hi, Rohan.
And I think Everett just joined.
Hello.
Hi.
Everett's the secretary.
I'm just here to moderate the chat and make sure everything's shipshape.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm Ish. I'm the VP. But we met earlier.
I know you, Ish.
Yes. Have you gotten a chance to watch BoJack?
To watch what?
BoJack Horseman?
Nope.
I recently started watching that. It was interesting.
It's a beautiful
Definitely
show.
only watch it in doses, though.
To each their own. Oh,
So should we wait? I know it's not one just yet, but we should probably wait like 5 or so minutes before we start the event, just to make sure that people who want to join in time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's fine. And I think everybody who will be joining, they'll be put on mute, so it shouldn't be like a case where there's sound. So yeah, that should be good.
Awesome.
oh, hey Billy.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes,
yeah.
and Marina. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Oh, you can't see me now?
No.
Okay.
Now we can.
Okay, great. Okay, got it.
Perfect. All right. So guys, this is Marina. She is our new campus recruiter. I'll kind of do a formal introduction once I get the go ahead to get started.
Sounds good.
Hey guys.
Hi, I'm Ish.
Hi.
I'm Rohan.
I mean, our names are here.
Yeah. So at the beginning, so I'm thinking that once we start the event, you can give a Taylor, you can give a brief just introduction to Softheon for our members who may not be familiar with the company.
I'm going in the office.
And
sorry.
If they don't know who Softheon is, I'm gonna be very offended.
no, I'm sure they do. I'm just kidding. But
I mean,
No,
we see Softheon everywhere.
yeah, the bikes, the buildings have stuff on it. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So just to make sure, after Rohan, after you ask the questions, people will be open to asking questions for Taylor themselves, correct?
Yeah, so the way we're going to do it is they can write them in the chat, and from there we can filter them, because it may become a bit too hectic just to have all the everybody asking questions. But it depends. We can see if at the end if people want it.
All right, sounds good. And I could scan the chat for any sort of questions that pop up.
Yep, that works.
How are you guys adjusting to being at home?
It's rough.
Yeah.
I just miss being on campus.
Yeah. Did classes start back up this week?
They
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
Mhm.
How have they been going?
Well, it's been an interesting experience to say the least. Um, most of my classes just got right back into the swing of things. A few of them were just talking about how like the quarantine has affected us. It's kind of tanked my productivity a little bit because usually on campus I could go to like a different building or something to go work on my stuff. But now I'm kind of just confined to the same building.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see some of the classes where the workload hasn't really changed at all. And then having to do that from home is a different experience just because when you're on campus, I mean, sure, there's a lot of things, but when you're in your dorm, then there's no real distractions. You're just stuck in like a small room and like have to do all your work there. But then when you're
Yeah.
at home, there's just so much, you can like get distracted so easily, and it becomes very, especially for such a long period of time with like days blur, yeah, and merge into each other. So it's
Yeah.
that's been, but I think that's something everybody's been going through. So it's just a general adjustment.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think it's an adjustment for everybody. Even us working from home, it's been a crazy adjustment.
Yeah. Is Softheon using like Zoom as well or one of these platforms?
Yeah, so we've been using Microsoft Teams, and then for larger events like this, we will use Zoom.
Got it. Got it. That's good.
Crystal,
Hi everyone, how you doing?
Oh,
good. How are you?
hey, Crystal.
Good.
Hi.
Here, just adjusting, still adjusting.
Yeah,
It's been strange.
it's very strange. I don't think anybody's really kind of used to it.
Yeah.
I'm
How are
sure.
you liking the Microsoft Teams, Taylor? I was curious
Oh.
about that.
What was that?
How are you liking the Microsoft Teams?
It's good. I would say for probably 4 people, but if you're gonna have any more than that, it kind of defeats the purpose because you can't then see everybody. So I prefer Zoom because then at least you can see everybody. So I guess it just really depends. Microsoft Teams is just easy because that's the platform that we use currently.
I see.
And for interviews, it's been fine for now.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So we're going to start at 1:05 to make sure that people who want to join can join. But once we do that, Rohan, if you would like to kick things off, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I know people are going to probably still be joining, but I think we can get started. So, hi everyone. I'm Rohan. I'm treasurer of Stony Brook Computing Society. And today we're here with Softheon to do a Q&A with regards to the company, some questions that you all were able to submit.
Did we lose Rohan?
Oh,
I think
it
Rohan's
looks,
having zipping in and out. All right. Ish, would you like to help pick up?
yeah. So we're here with Softheon, and we're here with Taylor and Marina. Would you like to give some introductions?
Thank you for
Yes.
having us, guys. So I'm Taylor. I'm sure most of you know me. So pretty much, I'm the talent acquisition specialist here at Softheon. So I do the majority of the hiring. So constantly on campus, just trying to give everybody the best job and get everybody onboarded at Softheon.
I'm Marina. I'm new here. I just started March 2nd. I'm the new campus recruiter. So I just started doing all this craziness, but I found Softheon through LinkedIn, and it's just a great company. I loved everything about it, and the culture and everything was great. So that's what drew me there. And then I got hired, and it's been a great experience. So I'll probably see you guys a lot more now that I'm going to be working with campus stuff. But yeah.
All right, and just one last thing. I believe next week we have elections, so if you haven't submitted a video, be sure to do that soon. The deadline is on April 5th. And yeah, so let's start off with our first question. So what does a daily workday look like at Softheon?
So to be honest, there is not really a typical day at Softheon. Every day is going to change. I think you're going to get that with a lot of companies. But especially with Softheon, we're an agile environment, so we try to be as flexible as possible. So, one day we could be working on bug fixes in a sprint, and the next day we could be fixing that sprint and putting something else in that a customer needs. So to be honest, it's really going to change day to day and position to position, because if you ask me what my typical day is, I can tell you my typical day, but if you ask one of our developers and one of our product managers, that's kind of where you're going to find that difference.
So how's it been like transitioning to work from home?
So before this, we never really had a work from home policy. We always had everybody work internally at CWIT. So for us, it was definitely a big transition, not only for IT purposes, getting everybody laptops and everything that they need, but our work has not slowed down one bit. If anything, it's honestly ramped up, because we are working with health insurance. We need to make sure that our software is working. So everybody has just been working super hard, and we're just trying to make sure that we're communicating as best as possible. I think that's the biggest challenge with working from home, is that you kind of lose that personal communication. So whether it's scheduling a video with someone just to catch up, or just trying to make sure that you're keeping everybody informed and that they're keeping you informed, so that you don't kind of lose touch of what's going on.
So kind of like to follow up with that, like obviously Softheon is closely connected with the healthcare industry. So like obviously with the current issue, how is and like who is Softheon working with, and like what are some projects that you're currently like working on?
I mean, so some of it is, we work with bigger health insurance companies. We have We have 4 different verticals at Softheon. So we really work with merchants. So we're doing people's payment platforms, and billing and invoicing. Then on the other side, we have our health plan vertical where we're working with private healthcare insurance companies. So whether it's Aetna, Centene, Guardian, companies like that. We work with government where we're rolling out state exchanges. So we're working with the state of Massachusetts right now. And then we're also working with broker solutions. So that's AARP.
Got it. So
Oh, you're back.
yeah, I'm back. Sorry, it kicked me for some reason, but
Back.
thanks. So I'd say one question I had sort of as a follow-up. So a lot of the students on campus, it's been a big transition for them. What would you say? What would you suggest as somebody who often will see prospective applicants and people who may be looking to start working at Softheon? What are some things you'd recommend that students do to help adapt themselves and still keep developing their skills?
I mean, the biggest thing is to honestly just keep pushing forward. Just because we're working from home, times are going to change. This is where the future is going to right now. So, to be honest, I think this is now your opportunity to work on perfecting your skill. And that could be anything from, going on HackerRank and just working on your coding skills, doing research on more companies and doing things like that you might not have had the time to do beforehand. And things like that.
Got it. Well, transitioning a bit away from the current, whatever we want to call it, situation, and just to Softheon in general, what for students who may be freshmen and haven't been able to attend any of these events in the past, what are some fun aspects about the Softheon culture that you believe makes it unique and that you enjoy the most?
Well, I mean, I love Softheon. I eat, breathe, sleep Softheon. So for me, it's really just the opportunity to grow at Softheon is honestly the best. So for me, it's being able to come in and just learn so much. You could really go to any other company and not get the learning opportunities that you would at Softheon. You come in and you're working on our products that are out with our clients right now. So most people can't even say that they've touched product that people are working on. But besides that, I mean, just the people are awesome. Everybody wants to grow and everybody wants to kind of build themselves and build Softheon. So we all have the same goal and we're all looking, to make Softheon better.
Cool. Ish, did you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So I know, if anyone has seen you before, I'm sure you talked about it. So can you tell people more about your new university program?
Yes. So our Softheon University program. So this is something that we were supposed to kick off this semester, but unfortunately it got a little derailed. So we are just working on it on the back end right now, just to really kick it off in the fall. But basically this is an opportunity to work during the semester. It's not a fully dedicated internship, but it's more part-time work. So you're going to be working with the developers on actual daily work. So whether you want to do the software development or if you want to do, business analyst or client success, those are the 3 different options that we have. So basically you would work anywhere from 12 hours a week to maybe up to 30 hours a week, no more than that. And then from there, you'll be working with the teams. You're going to be learning the ins and outs of Softheon. And the goal of that is so that once you're ready to graduate, we can then roll out a full-time offer for you. So it's a way to get you prepared to join the workforce.
All right, sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, and so you mentioned that even for this, with this university program, the students would have been working directly with the developers. What would you say, like if you could give a brief description of like how your organization is structured and how the different teams work together on a given project. So, you have like business analysts and as well as developers. How are those teams structured? And yeah.
Yeah, so we are a safe, agile company. So right now what we have is you're going to have your epic owners or your, SVP is GMs right now. And then from there, what you're going to have is you're going to have the product managers. So basically from there, under the product managers, you're going to have the developers, associate product managers, and business analysts. So you're really going to have everybody working together. You're going to have different product teams. So each product has their own product manager who's going to own that entirely. And then from there, they're going to really flow down and do that sprint planning and really work on all of that stuff. So all the products are working hand in hand with each other. And really what's going to happen is we all work cross-functionally. So everything is going to work together. So the software developers, you might be working on front end or back end or web development, whatever you want to work on, you then have the opportunity to then go to another product because we all work so closely together. Everything is so intertwined that you have that opportunity.
Got it. Yeah, that sounds great. And it's definitely a good environment for making a lot of innovative ideas. So yeah. Good.
So what would you say makes Softheon unique from like other companies in general?
What makes Softheon unique? Well, first off, you get to work with me. No, but seriously, besides that, you're not going to have a tech company like this on Long Island. There is no other company like us. Like I was saying before, when you come into Softheon, you are working on our actual product. So it's not like you're going to be working on something that no one's ever going to touch in years. These are some things that, are going to happen. So, it'll be anything from, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What really makes us different is that, we're just such a great environment. Everybody wants to work together. Everybody is helpful. Everybody, has the same goal and same passion. So, everybody is there not only to work, but they have a passion and they appreciate what Softheon is doing. So that's really the meat and potatoes of Softheon.
Got it.
Meat and potatoes.
It's a saying.
Yeah.
It was my first time hearing it.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. But anyways, transitioning away from the potatoes. So a more technical question, which I think we are a computing society, so a lot of people may be wondering, what kinds of technologies are most heavily used at Softheon? You mentioned that you've got different products for merchants and as well as directly working with healthcare providers. What would you say are some of the most critical technologies that students who may be interested in working at Softheon that they should brush up upon and become familiar with?
So we have, we mainly use C#, .NET, and SQL Server. On the front end, we use Angular. And a lot of times students, especially from Stony Brook, are going to come in with mainly Java experience. And just from what I've been told, I know that Java is very similar to C#. I just know that C# does offer a few more capabilities. I know on the front end, we use Python sometimes, with our database. So we try to use as much as possible. you know, and we're always willing to kind of teach and go from there.
Got it. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, especially there's at Stony Brook, I think there's a lot of opportunity to learn those languages as well. They've started to offer there's some new classes they're offering over the summer actually, which I think are like building web apps with C# and other languages. So it sounds like, I think there's definitely a lot of opportunities for students, and you should definitely check those out.
Yeah, there's definitely like so many things that, you know, you guys can be doing now just to kind of prepare yourself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So much free time now.
Yeah. So what other questions do you got for me?
So as a talent acquisition specialist, what would you say like helps a candidate like stand out more from like other applicants?
A cover letter. I know it sounds like so cliche, but for me, when I read someone's cover letter and they're saying, you know, to whoever this may concern, you know, I'm very interested in the software engineering position here at Softheon after reading through the job description, you know, and list some of the things that are on that job description that you do or that you are confident that you can do. By doing that, it means that you actually did the research, because for me, everybody can just click the apply button. Anyone can do that. I want somebody that actually wants to work for us, that wants to build and have a passion and appreciates what we do. So I think that's the biggest suggestion.
Yeah, no, like it's easy to press apply, but like at least for me, when writing a cover letter, that takes more time.
Yeah, and it means that you actually took the time to, you know, think about who you're applying for, what position you're applying for, and it's a meaningful decision that you're looking to make.
Yeah, that's definitely something. That students maybe doesn't get conveyed enough to students, but I'm sure the Career Center is also going to emphasize that a lot to students.
Yeah. I mean, I know like when I was doing undergrad and my grad school, I never thought I needed to do a cover letter. I was always like, no, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. But for me, we get so many applications, especially for developers, that I want to give someone the opportunity who is going to go above and beyond and is going to take that next step and going to do the research, you know, before they apply.
Yep, definitely. So one a little more specific question about what you're looking for, specifically for interns. Are there any things you'd recommend that they get involved with on campus? Obviously right now there's nothing really much that people can do on campus,
Yeah.
but you know, once it starts up again, what are there like any, or do you like give preference to students what stands out most, like research experience, what kind of things?
I mean, it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a research position, then yes, absolutely do more research. But if you're looking for a development position, go to more hackathons, even if it's, you know, a random one that you can virtually do. All that stuff is going to help you. It's just going to show that you can not only work under pressure, you can work with other people, and now you have all these projects that you can add onto your resume, so that when a recruiter is looking at your resume, they can be like, wow, look at how much they've done. I think, you know, for developers, I would say hackathons are definitely your key target right there.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, there's actually been quite a few hackathons that I think I would encourage students to apply for right now, that are actually themed around this COVID.
Oh, really?
Crisis. Yeah. There's, I know Johns Hopkins did one earlier, I think on this past weekend. And I know MIT is doing one on from Friday to Sunday. And these are all virtual. Yeah, they're all virtual. So yeah, I definitely recommend anybody who's watching this, check those out, search them up. And yeah. So Ish, you wanted to take the next one?
So I'm sure, like, what would you recommend to like students who like recently had like their internships canceled because of the current issue, or like graduating students that are struggling to find like a full-time job because of what's going on right now?
Well, full-time students should be applying to Softheon because I am actively recruiting for software developers. No, but not even that. It's, it is such an unfortunate situation. I know that we had to cancel our summer internship, which was very upsetting. It's just hard. So I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for everybody that's kind of going through that. But my biggest thing is be proud of that you got the internship and don't give up. People are still hiring. There are still jobs out there. You might have to broaden your search a little bit and be a little bit more flexible, but that's really, what you want to work on.
Yep, definitely. I know a lot of people are in that unfortunate situation right now, but it's tough, but people have to get through it.
Yeah, it's tough, and I don't think anybody was really expecting this to happen at this level. So I think that there are definitely some companies that are stopping hiring just because they don't have the bandwidth to support it right now, versus Softheon, where we've actually had to ramp up our hiring because people are going to need their health insurance. People are going to the hospital. They need access to their health insurance. So we need to make sure that it's all working. So we now have to hire a bunch more developers to make sure that everything is being handled and to not burn out our current employees.
Right, definitely. So you mentioned that your workload has ramped up quite a bit in recent weeks. But just overall, what would you say are some of the coolest projects you think you've seen been worked on at Softheon, or ones that you think would most interest students?
That's interesting. It's a little hard for me to answer, only because I'm more on the HR side, so I can tell you kind of what I've heard and what I know, kind of what we do. Project wise, I know that we have our product that specifically works on the marketplace, and they are literally just making different marketplaces and the UI UX for different companies and things like that. And then, we have a lot of, clients that are coming in, and we're always just trying to improve our products. So a lot of what happens is we have our products, and basically from there, what happens is we break them down into smaller products, just so that now we have one thing and there are multiple things that now we're looking for.
Got it. Ish, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, actually, I think Everett asked a question. It's more about the university program. So she was asking, what kind of qualifications is Softheon seeking for the university program, like experience-wise or class standing?
Experience-wise, we're going to be flexible. This is definitely a big learning opportunity. I would say that the people that are probably going to get the most out of it are going to be juniors and seniors, only because the goal is to have you work part-time, and then right when you graduate, we make you that full-time offer. So that's essentially what we would do, but we're open to any grade, not grade, but you know what I mean, any class, because everybody deserves the opportunity to learn, and we want to make sure at Softheon that we're giving everybody that opportunity.
Got it. Yeah. And so just to follow up on the university with regards to the university program.
Sure.
So what are some specific examples of jobs that students might be tasked with doing during the semester? So I know you said get to work with the developers. Would they be working at would they be coming into CWIT on occasion, or would they be working remotely? Because I know you said that normally you don't work remotely, so just how would
Yeah.
the logistics work of that?
Ideally, we would love people to, be able to come in to see it. And this is specifically for Stony Brook students. It's not really for anybody, really anybody on the island, but the majority is going to be Stony Brook students. But basically, ideally, we would love to have you guys come in to see it when we're back in the office, because that's how you're going to learn. A lot of this is also going to be the mentorship the mentorship that comes out of it. And you can do it virtually, but it's hard. You want to have that face-to-face interaction. I want to be able to turn around to someone and say, hey, I have a question. Can you answer this for me? And that's typically how it is at Softheon. So I would say, our best option is to have everybody in the office, and we're flexible with people's schedules, and, we'll work like that.
Got it. Yeah, that's definitely, it's definitely, I mean, you do miss that in-person interaction. And I think there's a lot to be gained from that, in terms of just being able to come up with ideas a lot faster. There's a lot of companies which right now, another tech company, Facebook, they usually had also a work in the office policy where people don't usually work from home.
Yeah.
So I think definitely within the technology sphere as a whole, work going into the office is definitely, and being in a collaborative environment is definitely something that is valued, and students should, I think, be looking for opportunities to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ish, I think I've had another question.
So Ev was asking, what sort of advice would you give to students taking on their first internship or like job?
So my suggestion is utilize every resource that they are giving you. Ask as many questions as you have. This is your opportunity. This is also your opportunity to say, hey, I think I might be interested in front end. Let me try to learn more about front end. You might decide, I hate front end. I want nothing to do with it. I want to work on the back end. This is now your opportunity to discover what you want to do, what you're passionate about. Because you might have an idea. Going to class, it's very different. So having that internship, you're going to have that opportunity to work side by side with full-time people. You're going to have the opportunity to work side by side with other interns. So it's really getting their input, understanding what they're doing. What are you doing that's different? What can you learn from them that you're not doing? So it's really just utilizing all of those resources. And when you're there, it's asking as many questions as possible and trying to just retain that information, because that information is invaluable. You can't look that stuff up in a textbook. You can't Google it. You're only going to get that from the people that you're sitting with. And you might get something different from me. You might get something different from Crystal. You might get something different from Marina. You're going to get something different from every single person. So even if you're asking the same question, it's going to give you different ways to approach different situations or things like that. So that's my biggest suggestion, is utilize all of those resources when you have them.
Right. And like definitely having like at least a mentor is like also definitely helpful, because like that's literally the first person you go to like ask questions. And like they're
Absolutely.
obviously there to help. So like they won't care if you ask them like 100 questions a day.
Exactly. Just don't ask the same question twice.
Right.
Take notes.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's something that is definitely invaluable, having a mentor and being able to work closely with them. So just to get back, I mean, this question kind of goes for the university program as well as the regular internship and full-time engineering roles or full-time positions. What is the recruiting and interviewing process like? Is it like for the university program, is it the same technical interview process which everybody assumes is going to happen for like a regular internship or full-time role?
Yes. So pretty much when you apply, As long as you're on Long Island or going to Stony Brook, you'll get the hack rank assessment. It is a different hack rank assessment. It is easier than our internship one and our full-time one. I've heard that ours is a little difficult. So we actually are revamping those. But basically they'll be doing a hack rank assessment. And then based on that assessment, you'll get a phone screen from either myself or Marina. And then from there, based on that phone screen, it would be a technical interview with HR and some of the developers. So basically, it's very similar to our full-time interviews, where you're going to be doing a coding assessment in the interview. And it's not necessarily to see if you can solve the problem. The developers and we want to see how you problem solve, how you figure out a problem, how you get through a challenge. That's what we're really looking for in the interview. We want to see you talk it out. We want to see your process, and we want to understand how you work best. Because if you work best literally not talking to anyone and you can figure it out by yourself, great. But if you need to bounce ideas off of people, that's the whole point. We're in the interview. They want to help you. I can't help you unless it's an HR question. You don't want my help with development. I have been in interviews for the last year and a half, and I still don't understand it. I give you guys so much credit. So it's just really be confident in your skills. You guys know what you're doing. I understand that interviews are very stressful, and they're always going to be stressful. But I think the thing to remember is you're going to get a job. Whether it's with Softheon, Amazon, Google, whoever, you are going to get a job. It just is up to you how hard you want to work for it. That's really what it's going to come down to.
Yep, definitely. I think there was a question from the audience. Did you want to take that?
Ooh, the audience.
So someone's asking, are you also accepting applications from grad students for the university program?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So kind of following up, you're talking about all the things that people should do, like, when interviewing or like applying, but what are some reasons that like you've seen personally that like why people weren't selected for an internship?
So part of it could be that people put things on their resume that they can't explain. When you submit your resume, part of what I'm going to go through is basically walk me through your resume. I want you to talk me through your projects. I want you to talk me through the classes that you've taken. Anything on your resume, you need to be able to talk to. If there's something on your resume that you're like, yeah, I did it, but it was like a group project and I was just kind of on it, so I put it there. I'm like, I don't want to see that. That's not going to help me. I want to know what you did. Even if you're putting the whole project on there and say, what I did was I did these specific points. Be able to talk to it. That's a big reason why some people don't get selected to move forward, is because they're trying to fluff up their resume. And you guys are doing so much. Put down your projects that you're doing in classes. Put down the related classwork that you're working on. That's what we want to see. And I want you to talk to me about your passion. What do you want to do? Why are you applying to my company? Because there are some people, I'll ask them, why do you want to work for Softheon? And they tell me, you're a company that's hiring. I'm not kidding. When people say that, it gets a little disheartening, because I want people that are as passionate as I am, or as motivated as I am, or as motivated as Marina is. We want people that are going to come in and have the energy to just move and keep building and keep growing themselves. That's what we're looking for. So, it's really just making sure that you're going to be happy there as well, because not only are we interviewing you, but you should be interviewing us. You need to know if we're the right fit for you. So it's not just a one-sided, we don't want you. It's also, do you like what we have to offer? Are we offering the things that you want? What are your important things that you're searching for? Because that could be different from each person.
Yep, that's definitely that's definitely something that people often they don't put enough initiative into actually researching the companies. And I think that, and based on what you're saying, it's about being passionate for the companies and knowing that, okay, I actually want to work here, not because it's a computer science software engineer job that pays a good money or something like that. You want to work at the company because you believe in what their mission is, and their products and their culture.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned that you've done a few interviews over the past few years. What are some of the most unique, what's some of like, I don't know if anything comes to the top of your mind of best thing or the coolest project or most unique project that you've seen on a resume?
You're
Or
putting me on
something.
the spot there, Rohan.
Yeah.
Oof.
I don't know. Otherwise, because I know a lot of students, sometimes they feel pressure that, when they're trying to start a project, and not just do one that they've done in class. They're like, it needs to cure cancer with like bioinformatics or something. So like advice as to just what, like in a project that you see from a student, what are you looking to see that they've understood from that project?
I can't remember any projects off the top of my head, but my thing is, it doesn't matter if you're curing cancer or deciding what to order from DoorDash. It does not matter. A project is a project. Work is work. You're developing. It does not matter if I'm coming up with the cure for cancer. Yeah, that'd be great, and you'd be super famous. Ideally, is that what you're going to be doing? No. Do something that you find fun. I want to hear you talk about a project that you're like, yeah, I work on this game. I play this game with my friends and I wanted to work on it. So, I did so-and-so to fix it. That's the stuff I want to hear. I want to hear your passion. Don't think of what the company wants to hear. They want to hear, I want to hear, what programs are you using? No, I want to know what you enjoy, what motivates you, and what keeps you wanting to go, because that's what's going to keep you going when you're in a job. Because yes, jobs get complacent sometimes. You are going to be doing some monotonous work day in and day out. But if we know, API work is what Rohan loves to do, we will do whatever we can to make sure that that's what you're doing.
Got it. Yeah, definitely. So Ish, I know we don't have that much time left, but Ish, if you had a few more questions, I think there was a few more questions.
So I kind of had a general question about, let's say when you're asking like a company for like a full-time job, like how do you ask a recruiter like about like salary stuff?
Just be honest. A lot of recruiters will typically ask you, what kind of salary are you looking for? I know that I ask that. But a lot of it, don't be afraid. You need to make money, especially to live on Long Island. Just say, whether it's on your phone screen or you're just inquiring about the position, just be honest and say, hey, I really enjoy what your company does. But if you could you please tell me the salary range that you're looking for an entry-level position? Don't, they might not give it to you. Unfortunately, they might not, but that's per company. But it never hurts to ask. All they're going to say is, I can't share that information, or they're going to ask you, what are you looking for? So I think it's not a fun question to ask, but everybody knows it. Everybody knows the question is. So don't think that the recruiters don't know that you want to know what the salary is. We know, just ask. That's rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
I've kind of had a follow-up question to that, but basically, what kind of salary range do you think interns should aim for versus full-time?
Oh man. Well, what do you guys think is the range? I mean, it really depends. So What I typically do is I will do some research. I do have to make sure that it depends on where I'm looking. So if I'm looking for Stony Brook, I'm going to make sure that I'm looking at salaries that are comparable in Stony Brook, not New York City, because New York City is probably going to be about 10 to 20 grand higher than Long Island is. It's just the way the world works. The city has to be a little bit more competitive because they have so many different competitors there. So they have to have their one up. So it really depends. I mean, for an internship, I did 2 internships and I didn't get paid. I did it because I wanted the experience. But that was also me. I wasn't focused on getting money at that point. I really just wanted to beef up my resume so that when I was looking for a full-time job, I had more on my resume to then say, yeah, I need this much more money because I do have this experience. So it's really just looking at your experience, putting your projects on there, making sure that all of that is there, because if we're looking at your resume and there's no projects, just your schooling and like a lifeguarding position, they're going to say, okay, I can give you our base amount. If you have more on there, you have more leverage to ask for more. And shoot for the stars. All they're going to say is, no, I can't match that. I've had to do that. I know that people like to ask for more, and there's nothing wrong with that. Trust yourself and trust your knowledge and go from there.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult question to ask, especially recruiters, because then, at least for me, in the back of my head, I'm just like, "Ooh, what if I just don't get the offer?" No.
Listen, if you don't get an offer, you're going to get an offer from someone else. That's all that company missed out.
I think around this time we'll just open it up to everyone else and just unmute everyone. So if anyone has questions for Taylor or Marina, like, now's the time to ask.
I don't have anything to add. I basically just asked all my questions already in the chat. So, but if anyone else has any last minute questions before we end, you can feel free to submit them in the chat, as people have been doing so far. So.
Yeah, one more question actually I got from the form was, so it's very specific for the full-time software engineering roles for recruiting next season. How is the recruiting still occurring for full-time software engineering positions, even with the current situation?
Yes. So currently we are proceeding with virtual onboarding 100%. It might take a little bit longer, but we are still actively recruiting. I'm on at least like 2-3 interviews a day.
Oh, wow.
So we are planning on basically mailing you a laptop, doing all the verification through that, and then virtually onboarding you. I know Marina was in the office for about 4 days until we had to work from home. So we're definitely learning. We just onboarded our last new hire class completely online. So it's not really affecting us. We're just recruiting at not even the same pace, but at a faster pace. Because we know we want to hire you guys. If you want to come work for us, let me know. We want to help the people. We want to help people. We want to give people the jobs and the opportunities to learn and grow.
Got it. Yeah, that's definitely, I think that'll probably calm some of the anxiety that a lot of recent grads are feeling. It's tough. A lot of them, like all their senior, like walking on the stage and stuff. It's crazy, but
Yeah,
I think there'll be some kind of makeup for it. And
it's definitely hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people just have to understand that unfortunately the times right now are just crazy and unpredictable. And you just have to be flexible with the companies that you're looking for. Thankfully, Softheon is still recruiting. So if anybody is looking for a position, we have more than, software developer positions. So even if you have friends that are looking for different positions, you can always send them over our way to look at any of the positions that we do have.
And just a kind of a simple question, but what's the best place to find all of your open positions?
I know Crystal's going to yell at me for this because I'm not going to say Handshake. No, I would say go to our website. So it's softheon.com careers. But I will be uploading everything to Handshake. And you'll be able to find everything there.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I think with that, we'll wrap it up. It's been great to speak with you, Taylor, and great to have Marina on as well. And I'm sure our students, our members, definitely enjoyed being able to ask their questions and get a better perspective on what it's like to work at Softheon. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So
and thank you, Crystal,
thank
for
you
hopping in.
Yes.
Yep,
Thank
definitely.
you all for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it, and if anybody ever has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. If you want to do another video in a month or so, reach out. We're here. We love talking with you guys and seeing how you guys are doing. So always feel free to reach out and just say hi.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what we'll come up with some creative ideas for to keep people entertained while they're at home. So yeah, we'll reach out with you guys. We'll reach out to you guys.
Absolutely.
So yeah, great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your time. And we're gonna be posting this this Q&A on our Facebook page, on the Stony Brook Computing Society Facebook page. So if anybody wants to listen to some of the questions and answers again, feel free to do that. And yeah, I think that's about it. Ev, did you have any last minute things to say?
No, thank you very much for hosting this. It was very helpful. Oh, wait, I have one last thing. As a reminder to our members that the elections are still open and they will be closing on April 5th.
Yep.
I believe, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So be sure to get those submissions in before the deadline. And that's all for now.
All right. Cool.
Thanks
Great.
so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay
Bye,
safe.
everyone.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye. So how do I end this?
I think you can just leave meeting.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Try.
Oh, there's an option to end meeting for all.